Hey, what's up everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to go over the top 3 reasons why I decided to buy a Tesla Model 3. And if you're in the market for a new car and you're considering getting a Tesla, stay tuned. Alright guys, so the first reason why I personally decided to buy a Tesla, and specifically the Model 3, is because I was in a lease with a 2019 Jeep Compass, and the dealership reached out to me saying, hey, it's a good time for used vehicles. The demand is going up and the supply is going down, thus they're able to make a sale on that vehicle. So my lease for that was due to end a year from today in July of 2022. And because I was low on miles on my lease, they were like, let's appraise it, and if everything looks good, then we'll just take the car off your hands for free. And if anyone knows with a lease, if you try to get out of a lease early on your own terms, there's a hefty penalty. So you'd probably have to pay the rest of the lease out. That would probably be, a couple $1,000s. And then they charge you a penalty fee for getting out early. So on these terms, since they were the ones that were kind of holding all the cards in their hands, since everything worked in their favor, I was able to get out penalty free. So that was the big reason why I wanted to get a Tesla. That's reason number 1. So reason number 2 is the technology in the car, right? So you get the 15-inch touchscreen and you're able to modify any single setting within the car. I was able to test drive a Model Y actually, because there was no Model 3s available on the lot for me to test drive, but the Tesla advisor, that's the title of their salespeople, they told me that the Model Y is very close to the Model 3, and the only main difference was that the Model Y is a little bit higher off the ground. And since I owned a Jeep Compass, it was high off the ground as well, so I was comfortable with driving it at that higher level, and everything was fine. I mean, besides the back windshield of the car, it was actually very small and it was hard to see through the back, the traffic behind you. So that was kind of weird, but the Model 3 has a bigger back windshield, so that's not going to be an issue for me at all. So again, the second reason is really the technology. When you're getting a gas vehicle, any gas vehicle, yeah, you're going to have your CarPlay, you're going to have a couple bells and whistles on the console and in the inside, but it's really not the technology you're getting for a Tesla Model 3. And when I test drove it and I went pedal to the floor, I'm telling you that you stick to the back of your seat, that's how quick it accelerates. So the technology, the vision of the company, that was a really big reason why I decided to go with Tesla. Now, moving on to reason number 3, the third reason why I wanted to get a Tesla is because they're appreciating assets, and appreciating meaning that they either retain their value over 3 to 5 years, and probably longer than that, but Model 3 is actually a newer vehicle within their fleet. It retains its value over time. So similar to when you're buying a house, you're hoping that over time that the value of that house is going to go up. And the same thing goes with a Tesla. And the reason why it's different than a regular combustion engine is because when you have a gas car, the lifespan of that car is between, let's say, 9 and 15 years at the absolute most. You're going to deal with transmission issues. You're going to deal with other mechanical issues that you don't get with a Tesla because it's strictly run off a battery. There's no other mechanical pieces other than the hardware. When I say the hardware, I mean the body of the car or the tires and things. You're going to have to change that, but there's really nothing else mechanical that you're going to have to deal with. So that's a big reason why it is an appreciating value. And then a second reason why it appreciates is because Tesla, just like Android and Apple, will push software updates over the air to your car as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi. So you're getting the updates to the software, and the touchscreen and the technology is staying up to date. So whether you have a 2019, a 2018, 2017 Tesla vehicle, whatever model it may be, it's going to stay up to date with whatever the newest versions of that car has in terms of the software. So you're always going to retain the value of that Tesla, if not make more money on that Tesla. If you decided, hey, I don't like it, maybe the charging isn't for you, or for whatever other reason you didn't like the car, if you tried to resell it, you would actually make your money back on that, if not a profit. So that was a big reason why I decided to go with the Tesla. Now, those are my top 3 reasons, and I'm gonna do a Q&A right now. My content is new, and I wanna interact with you guys a little bit more. I want you to be a little bit more engaged. So please, I'm gonna put through some Q&A. I encourage you guys to do any comments at the bottom. Ask me anything you'd like if I didn't cover it right now, and I'm happy to get back to you guys and comment back. And please, if you did like this video, press that like button, subscribe, and I'm gonna make plenty more videos for you guys, especially when I go to get my Tesla and pick it up for delivery around end of August, early September. I'm gonna post tons of content around the actual vehicle itself, the delivery process. I'm gonna go through the checklist and make sure that everything looks good on the car before I actually purchase it. All right, let me dive into the Q&A. First question is, would you buy a Tesla if there was no federal or state tax incentives? And by all that, we mean based on the state you live in, sometimes they offer you a tax rebate or a point of sale rebate, meaning they just take a credit right off the price of the vehicle. Would I buy one if there wasn't any sort of incentive like that? Now, it's twofold. If Tesla didn't continue to change the price of their vehicles, and it's not their fault, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. If they get greedy based on supply and demand, they're gonna increase the price of their vehicles at any time. It's different than gas vehicles, based on the vision of Tesla and Elon, it's a little bit different. So if they decide, hey, supply is going down, demand's going up, they're gonna increase the price of their vehicles. So because they can change the price and increase it at any time, I probably wouldn't without the federal and state tax incentives, because the Model 3 was at $36,990, and then they added the $3,000 increase to it a couple months ago, I believe in May, because of the microchip shortage. And now it's pretty much a $40,000 car. That's above the national average in terms of the price of a car. My 2019 Jeep Compass, I got a little bit more than the standard model. It came out to like 31 or 32,000 MSRP. So for a $40,000 Tesla, I mean, I get the technology and I'm all for it, but $40,000 is a little steep for that car. But since I live in New Jersey and they offer that incentive, I couldn't pass it down. So would I buy it if there was no incentive? Probably not, unless they brought the price of the car back down to around 35. Second question, a little bit more about myself. So how old are you and where do you live? I'm 29 years old. I live right outside of New York City in New Jersey. I grew up in Livingston, New Jersey, but now I live in the greater Morristown area, and I work in New York City as well. Where did you go to school? I went to Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And what are your hobbies? So I played 3 sports in high school, and I played lacrosse in college. So the 3 sports I played in high school were soccer, lacrosse, and then I also wrestled. And why YouTube and why now? So I'm 29 years old. Why start YouTube? Well, I have a 9-to-5 job and I do fairly well, I would say. Better than your average, but those days sort of get monotonous and boring, and this is a little bit new for me, but I'm learning how to create videos, I'm learning how to edit my own videos, and this is fun. So like if I'm free during the day, I will do a video in the middle of my workday and start editing and posting these videos for you guys, because this is more fun for me to do than to do my day job. So I hope you guys really like this content. I plan on building a lot more and creating a lot more. So if you really like it, please subscribe, comment, let's engage, let's talk. If you have any other questions and you're thinking or considering about buying a Tesla and you want me to answer those questions, I guarantee you I probably know the answer, because I had a ton of questions. Even after I put the $100 deposit on the car, I had a million questions running through my head. And I was looking at YouTube, I was looking at Google, I was looking at forums, and there were some things that it took a while for me to find out, but I was able to get those answers. So if you have any questions that you weren't able to get answered regarding the process of buying a Tesla, please comment that and I will definitely get back to you. All right, thanks guys.